guys, back with another video. This is going to be another Lofi facts video. Today I have 100 historical facts. I don't know, again, if I will get through all of them today, but if not, I will record a second part of this video. So let's get started. In 1913, Stalin, Hitler, Trotsky, and Tito all lived in Vienna for a couple of months. The first British officer killed in World War I was an Englishman born in India in a Scottish regiment commanding Senegalese troops in Togoland. The record for a vaccine to be developed and licensed was 4 years. The record holder was the mumps vaccine, which was licensed in 1967, following the UK government approval of the Pfizer vaccine for COVID-19 in early December 2020. That record is now just under 11 months. Richard the Lionheart only spent 6 months of his 10-year reign in England. Important events in German history have frequently occurred on November 9th, dubbed the Day of Fate. When the USS Indianapolis was sunk by a Japanese submarine on July 30th, 1945, survivors were left in the water for 4 days, during which time around 600 men died of exposure, dehydration, shark attacks. Experts believe it may be the single greatest concentration of shark attacks on humans in history. Napoleon took 187,600 horses with his army as he rode into Russia in 1812. Only 1,600 came back. In World War I, France's black soldiers suffered a death rate 3 times higher than their white comrades because they were so often given unaliving tasks. The Metropolitan Police Act of 1839 criminalized a range of nuisances: knocking on a door and running away, flying kites, singing obscene ballads, sliding on ice in the street. Technically, all of these offenses are still offenses within the Metropolitan Police area of London. You can be given a fine of up to £500. Before battle, Japanese samurai painted their faces, horses, and teeth, and left a hole in their helmet through which the soul could escape. Since 1872, it's been illegal to be drunk in a boat. When Egypt's major pyramids were being built, there remained a small population of woolly mammoths on Wrangel Island in the Arctic. The total number of children fathered by Genghis Khan is unknown, but estimates range from several hundred to over 1,000. DNA evidence has suggested that 1 in every 200 people in the world today is a descendant of Genghis Khan. That's around 16 million people. American President Woodrow Wilson and his wife Edith kept sheep at the White House during World War I to keep the lawn neat and reduce gardening costs. In 1962, a mysterious epidemic of laughter broke out in a girls' school in what is now Tanzania. The laughter quickly spread to other schools and eventually to the surrounding villages, affecting thousands of people. The epidemic lasted for several months and was so severe that many schools were forced to close. Contrary to popular belief, Thomas Crapper did not invent the flushing toilet, though his name is often associated with it. The last time the British Army deliberately killed anyone in Britain was in August 1911, when 2 civilians were shot in Liverpool during a rail strike. Colonel Zord, Napoleon's second Lancers, fought all day on horseback at Waterloo. He had his arm amputated, no pain relief the day before. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a medical doctor, a best-selling author, and spiritualist advocate. He also played as a football goalkeeper for Portsmouth Association Football Club under the 17th century king of Aragon chose wives by making women stand in the sun and then doing a blind sniff test on all their sweaty clothes. The ones he didn't like, he sent to lesser nobles. In 1510, rats who destroyed a field of barley were summoned to face trial. Their defense lawyer, Bartholomew Chesney, argued that attending court would put his clients at risk from local cats and dogs. A reasonable fear of death was sufficient reason to excuse a human from court. If rats were to be subject to the same laws, surely the same mitigation had to apply. The judge postponed the trial indefinitely. A 1,000-year-old Chinese Buddha statue was taken to a Dutch hospital for a CT scan in 2017. The scan revealed a mummified monk inside, the golden figure with its internal organs missing. The monk was believed to have self-mummified before being encased in the statue. In 1939, the U.S. Army numbered 190,000. In 1945, it numbered 8.5 million. The story of skyscrapers often begins in New York and Chicago from around 1884 with increasingly tall buildings. However, what was technically the world's first skyscraper was built in Shropshire in 1796 to 1797. Of the 8 planets in the solar system, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn were observed by Babylonian astronomers as early as the 2nd millennium BC. The word quarantine comes from quarantina, meaning 40 days. In 14th century Phoenician, the Phoenicians imposed a 40-day isolation of ships and people arriving in their lagoon during the Black Death. In 1759, French besieging Madras strongly complained that the British defenders had fired at their HQ. The British immediately apologized. The origin of the phrase "OK" dates back to a fad for intentionally misspelled abbreviations in 1830s Boston, when witty Bostonians began spelling all correct as all correct. The newspapers picked up on the joke. According to research, out of the 193 countries that are currently United Nations member states, Britain invaded or fought conflicts in the territory of 171 countries, which accounts for approximately 90% of the total. The Halifax gibbet